All right. I'm excited to be here with you. It's another Monday motivation. Today we're talking about leading a heart-centered life. So welcome everyone. I'm so happy you're here with me today. And if you have questions or anything that comes up, just put them in the comments. I'll be happy to address them. So have you ever looked around at your life and wondered, how did I get so far away from myself? Maybe you're doing all the things right. You're showing up, you're smiling, you're pushing through, you know, but something inside of you feels out of sync, like you're surviving, but not truly living. I've been there. After my breast cancer treatments were completed, they had ended and the dust settled. I found myself asking, now what? My body had survived, but my spirit felt disconnected. I was emotionally still dealing with a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear. Maybe you can relate. I didn't recognize the woman in the mirror. I had lost my sense of direction and my sense of self. There was a lot of grief also. Grief of the life I had envisioned with my family had suddenly changed. That's when I realized something else needed to change. I needed to adapt somehow, to go on living my life, but not just living, also thriving. So I had to change not on the outside, but on the inside. That was the beginning of my journey into what I now call a heart-centered life. And friends, it's one of the most valuable treasures I've ever discovered. So I do talk about it often because I do believe it is a treasure. I want to take you to that hidden place within yourself, a place where peace lives, where your values lead you, and where your heart becomes your compass. In today's video, we'll talk about how to recognize when you're living from your head instead of your heart, how to reconnect with what really matters, and how to use the tools I share in my book, Thrive After Breast Cancer, to begin leading from a place of deep purpose and peace. You don't need to earn your way back to joy. You don't need to prove your worth. You can rebuild your life from the inside out. So grab your water or another favorite beverage, find a quiet space, and let's begin this journey inward together. If we haven't met previously, my name is Terry Stirk. I am a two-time survivor of breast cancer, triple negative breast cancer. I've been through many challenges in my life, including family discord, grief, parents, lots of things. I won't go into all of that now, but what it has taught me is how to create wellness in my life no matter what is going on to try to tear me down. I am a wellness coach and an author. I serve women who have endured traumatic situations. My aim is to help all of you thrive by nurturing your body, mind, and spirit. So let's start off with, what is a heart-centered life? A heart-centered life is one in which decisions, boundaries, actions, They're all rooted in your deepest value, your values, not in guilt or fear, not in people pleasing or fear of judgment. In my book, Thrive After Breast Cancer, I wrote this: healing isn't just about what you recover from, it's about what you return to. It's about your purpose, your joy, your truth. They were always there, they never left you. But sometimes, after going through a traumatic event, you have to go back and look for it again. Be intentional about it, returning to your purpose, your joy, your truth. That return happens when you shift from thinking too much with your head and instead leaning on your heart. We live in a world that glorifies doing, fixing, improving, but heart-centered lives invite us to slow down, to feel deeply, to reflect, to lead with love, even when it's uncomfortable. So here is a reflection prompt. I invite you to journal or reflect on this statement. Where in my life can I lead from the pressure to do, fix, or prove, instead of leading from a place of peace, my heart? So I'll say that again. Where in my life am I led from the pressure to do, fix, or prove, instead of leading from a place of peace in my heart? So let's talk about signs you're not leading from the heart. After a traumatic event, or even if life is just piling up and you're feeling overwhelmed, it's easy to fall into a survival mode. You might feel numb or disconnected. You might feel like you're just checking off boxes, that you're not really enjoying what you're doing, or like you're constantly pushing, forcing your way through life rather than just letting life happen. So even when your body says stop, you're continuing to go. Maybe you're using work as a distraction from your healing after that trauma. Or maybe you're living by someone else's expectations and calling it normal. One of the women I wrote about in my book shared with me that after finishing treatment, she said, I survived breast cancer, but I didn't know how to live afterward. That struck me deeply because surviving isn't the same as thriving. And thriving requires the courage to listen to your heart again. So here's another reflection prompt that I think can be helpful. I invite you to journal or reflect on this statement. When was the last time that I asked my heart what is truly needed? When did you sit down and just reflect and think when you had to make a decision to lean on your heart? From a young age, I found myself constantly pondering the intricacies of the heart. I'd ask what can cause it to ache or to break, and what can bring it joy. But as I grew older, I began to understand that the heart is not just a metaphorical term, it's a physical part of our body. It's where well-being also plays a significant role in our overall health. When it comes to physical health, it's essential to take care of our hearts through nutrition and exercise. But there's more to it than that. This is where our spirit resides. A closed heart space can manifest as feelings of loneliness or isolation, while an open heart space can manifest love, abundance, compassion, connection, a whole host of positive things. Through my journey, I have learned that living from the infinite space of the heart takes courage. It's not always easy. But if we have courage and fearlessness, the rewards can be immeasurable. Now, living my purpose, supporting other women, I am diligent about living a heart filled life. This allows me to be heart centered, which means striving to align my head and my heart, and not forgetting my emotions and my spirit right along with my physical healing. But simply, it means you choose to live and lead in alignment with all your core values. It means you make decisions that are congruent in both your head and your heart. So, I have 3 ways you can anchor yourself in a heart centered life. When you feel disconnected or like you've been drifting, I want to give you 3 simple practices to help you come back to your center, back to your heart. The first is to pause and listen. Create space in your day to pause and ask yourself, what is my heart telling me today? You don't have to fix it, just listen. Pause and listen. Just ask yourself, what is my heart telling me today? You'll be amazed. You'll get answers. The second one is to let love lead. Let love lead you. So ask, is this decision coming from love or fear? Love might say, I need to rest, when fear says, I need to push, I need to keep going. Love might say, set the boundary, where fear says, stay silent. So when we let love lead, we make decisions from love rather than fear. The third is to honor your truth. I encourage women all the time to rewrite their story from a place of power, not from a place of pain. That means telling the truth first to yourself and then in how you live your life. So if you honor your truth, you're able to do that. You can really tell yourself truthfully how you feel about a situation or a decision or anything you're doing at the moment. If you're all in your head and you're thinking about it too much, then you're not living your truth. You might be telling yourself negative things or telling yourself all the reasons why something won't work. But if you rewrite your story from a place of power, not pain, you're more apt to be thinking about the joy you want in your life. And you'll make the space to find that joy for yourself, honor your truth, and live a beautiful life. You don't have to live disconnected. You don't have to hustle for healing. Your heart already knows the way if you're willing to follow it. If this message spoke to you, please comment below or share with someone who's on the same healing path. And if you haven't read my book, Thrive After Breast Cancer, you can grab a copy on Amazon or wherever else books are sold. Or I can send you a signed copy of it. I'm happy to do that. Just let me know. The book is filled with reflections and tools, just like the ones I've given you today. These can help you live fully and freely after life throws you a curveball, whether that's cancer, an illness of any sort, whether it's family issues, or it's just uncertainty about your purpose or where you should go from here. So reflection is a great tool to help with your healing. I have a gift for you. It is a journaling companion that I call Live from the Heart, 7 Days of Heart-Centered Prompts. Journaling and reflection is a great place to start when you're trying to understand your own life and how to get back to thinking with your heart rather than being so much in your head. If you'd like a copy, leave a comment below this video or send me a direct message. I'd love to share it with you. Again, it's Live from the Heart, 7 Days of Heart-Centered Prompts. So it'll help you assess your own ability to live a heart-centered life. So until next time, I'm cheering you on. Goodbye.